In the cold silence of deep space, the Galactic Scouts never expected to catch anything more than a stray signal or a drifting cargo pod. But when they found a lone human drifting near a forbidden sector, quiet, calm, and unnervingly still, they thought they'd stumbled upon an easy catch. No weapons, no distress signals, just a man who seemed oddly at peace in the face of captivity. Little did they know, this quiet human carried a warning that would send chills through even the most battle-hardened scouts. You can't cage the Reaper. What sounded like a cryptic riddle quickly turned into a nightmare none could foresee. The scouts learned too late that this wasn't just a prisoner. They had ensnared a force beyond their understanding. The Reaper wasn't a name, but a legend of inevitable fate, and this human was its living shadow. As the silent tension broke, the galaxy witnessed a power that no cage could hold, a storm that no chain could bind. This was a reckoning they never saw coming, and one that would echo across the stars for generations to come. The quiet capture. In the vast emptiness between stars, silence reigned. The Galactic Scouts, the galaxy's elite peacekeepers and explorers, patrolled this lonely sector like vigilant ghosts. Their mission was clear: protect the boundaries of settled space, investigate anomalies, and maintain the fragile peace between the many species that called the stars home. It was during one such patrol that the sensors picked up an unusual blip. A small vessel drifting without power or communication signals in a forbidden zone near the contested border of human space. The scouts expected perhaps a derelict cargo ship or a lost trader, nothing more. But the decision was made to investigate. The boarding party entered the ship carefully, weapons at the ready. Inside they found a single occupant, a man, human, alone. His clothes were simple, worn but clean, his face calm and unreadable. No weapons, no signs of injury, no indication of panic or fear. He sat quietly, eyes steady and alert, as if expecting them all along. "Identify yourself," the scout captain commanded, voice firm. The man didn't flinch. For a long moment he said nothing. Then, quietly, he spoke. A voice soft, but carrying an unmistakable weight. "You can't cage the Reaper." The words echoed oddly in the small chamber. The scouts exchanged glances. Was this a warning? A riddle? The human offered no further explanation. The interrogation began, but the man remained cryptic, refusing to disclose his name, his purpose, or even how he came to be adrift in this forbidden sector. His calm defied the growing tension in the room. Hours passed. The scouts reviewed their data, puzzled. This human was unlike any they had encountered, neither hostile nor compliant, but something else entirely. A mystery wrapped in quiet resolve. That night. As the scout ship drifted through the void, the captain stared at the prisoner's cell. Whatever this man represented, he knew one thing. The galaxy had just met a force that would be far more dangerous than any weapon. Legends and reality, the Galactic Scout ship drifted silently through the darkness, the prisoner's cryptic words lingering in the stale, recycled air. You can't cage the Reaper. Captain Alara Voss sat alone in her quarters, staring out into the, star-studded void. She was a seasoned officer, having served in the fleet for over 20 years. But the encounter with this quiet human unsettled her more than any battle or negotiation ever had. The phrase haunted her like a riddle wrapped in shadow. She pulled up the ship's archives, searching for any mention of the Reaper. The term flickered on the screen in multiple languages, referenced in tales from various star systems, stories that mingled myth and fact. It seemed the Reaper was not a single entity but a legend, a symbol whispered in fear and awe across the galaxy. The legend of the Reaper, in the ancient records of the Xyrelians, a proud alien race known for their wisdom and long memories, the Reaper was said to be the harbinger of fate, a force that transcended life and death. According to their chronicles, the Reaper came not to take life, but to balance the scales of cosmic order. They believed the Reaper appeared when civilizations reached a tipping point, either ushering in renewal or bringing inevitable collapse. The Hanvek, a warrior species with a history of ruthless conquests, told stories of a shadow figure, a silent stalker who appeared on the battlefield, unstoppable and unyielding. Soldiers whispered that the Reaper was not a warrior, but a force of destiny itself, appearing to those whose time had come, or to those who would reshape the future. Humans, though younger among galactic civilizations, had their own legends. Among their stories was the myth of a Reaper of Souls, a silent guardian, a relentless force born from their history of wars, survival, and unbreakable will. Human history was marked by countless battles on their home planet, Earth, and conflicts that tested their resilience and cunning. This Reaper was not just death, but the embodiment of their spirit to endure and fight back against all odds. The Galactic Council's caution Captain Voss was not the only one intrigued by the prisoner. The Galactic Council, the governing body, overseeing interstellar peace, had taken note. Their intelligence reports often painted humanity as unpredictable, a species with chaotic potential that could disrupt the delicate balance of power in the galaxy. At a recent council meeting, ambassadors from various species debated humanity's place in the cosmic order. The humans have survived catastrophes that would have ended lesser civilizations, argued Ambassador Cathar of the Clinthar species. They adapt, evolve, and strike back with a ferocity that borders on madness. But they are reckless, countered Ambassador Lena from the Cyrix Confederation. Their wars have endangered entire star systems. We must monitor them closely. The ITA prisoner aboard the scout ship was now a symbol of these fears and hopes, a living reminder that humanity's spirit was as mysterious as it was dangerous. Interrogation. A puzzle of silence back on the scout ship, Captain Voss resumed the interrogation. With renewed focus, the human sat in the dim cell, his calm unwavering. "What do you mean by you can't cage the Reaper?" she demanded. He looked up slowly, eyes gleaming with quiet intensity. "The Reaper isn't a person," he said. "It's a force. Fate, inevitability. It's what humanity has become. You think you caught me, but you only caught a shadow." "Explain yourself," Voss pressed. He smiled faintly, as if sharing a secret no one else could understand. Humans have a will that transcends cages and chains. We survive by becoming what others fear, not just flesh and bone, but the storm. Before the calm, the reckoning no one can avoid. The scouts exchanged uneasy glances. Was this madness or truth? The prisoners passed. Fragmented clues over the next days, fragments of the human story emerged. He refused to give his name, but hinted at a past shaped by conflict and survival. He spoke in riddles about a secret human resistance fighting oppression beyond the borders known to the Galactic Council. "The galaxy is not as ordered as you believe," he said. "There are battles you don't see, wars fought in shadows. We are the last line, the Reaper that falls when all else fails." Despite intense questioning, the prisoner offered no concrete information about his mission or origins. His silence was a shield, a puzzle the scouts couldn't solve. Captain Voss realized that the human's calm was not weakness, but control. There was a purpose behind his quietness, something waiting to be unleashed. Suspicion and fear among the crew. Tension grew. Some feared the human was a spy or assassin sent to destabilize the scouts. Others believed he was a prophet, warning of an impending reckoning. Lieutenant Kahl, a pragmatic engineer, voiced the concern openly. "This man's calm is unnatural. He's dangerous not because of weapons, but because of what he represents." "Captain," Voss nodded, "we must keep him contained until we understand him. But be prepared. This is no ordinary prisoner." The calm. Before the storm as days turned to nights, the prisoner's silence grew heavier. His cryptic words echoed in the minds of the scouts. Then, one evening, during a routine security check, the quiet human did something no one expected. Without warning, he moved, swift, precise, and unstoppable. The cell door's locks, designed with the latest technology, failed to restrain him. In moments, he was free. The scouts scrambled to respond, but the human's calm and speed overwhelmed them. His movements were fluid, controlled, as if he danced with the shadows themselves. Captain Voss watched in stunned silence as the prisoner stood before her. "You thought you caged the Reaper," he said softly. "But the Reaper cannot be held." Cha came unleashing. The hum of alarms shattered the quiet stillness inside the scout ship. Red lights bathed the narrow corridors in a warning glow. Captain Alara Voss sprang to her feet from the command deck, her heart pounding with sudden dread. The prisoner, her quiet human, had broken free. Seal all exits. Contain him. She barked into her comm. But it was too late. The prison cell door. The reinforced steel door stood slightly ajar, its electronic locks shattered by an unseen force. The scouts who had been stationed nearby had been thrown back, their stun weapons powerless against the sudden assault. The man who had refused to speak, who had offered nothing but cryptic words, now moved through the halls with a grace that defied all expectations. His movements were precise and fluid, a predator dancing through the shadows. No hesitation, no wasted motion. Each step was measured, each breath controlled. "You thought you caged me," he whispered, voice calm, yet charged with a strange intensity. "But I am the Reaper. I am the Reaper."